Councillor Fletcher. Okay, right. We come now to the item number 9 on rate setting for 2019-2020, and if I can invite Andrew Duncan and Aaron Matic to come to the table, please. I'll move the recommendations here. Councillor Clow will second. I was going to put the recommendation, but that would be premature. If you'd like to speak to the item and answer any questions.
Good afternoon. This report has you set the rates for the year. It's a procedural matter. The rates setting must take place after the adoption of the annual plan, and the rates resolutions in this report implement the decisions in your annual plan and that you made at the May meetings. Happy to answer any questions.
Right, are there any questions? Okay, we come to discussion. Are there any comments that any councillor wants to make? Councillor Newman.
Two things, Your Worship, and I want to thank the officers for their hard work. This is not an easy process. I acknowledge the professionalism of the staff in navigating the shoals of ebb and flow of this debate. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the changes that will be made in relation to the churches and other places of religious worship, because that is something that I think is going to be a great credit to this council and will significantly assist those organisations that do good work in the community. Religious outreach, I think, is critically important. The second thing, I just wanted to make a note that whilst the food waste service has been operating in Papakura for a period of time, and that there has been an adjustment which is coming in how many households in North Shore? 2,000. There's a target in the North Shore and parts of the North Shore. I do think that there will be challenges about the rollout of the targeted food waste rate across the region, particularly in those areas where there is a very high uptake of composting and worm farms, and I think that this will almost certainly require further discussion, further debate regarding the Waste Management Minimisation Plan, Your Worship. And the final thing I'd say about that is that fundamental to the Waste Management Minimisation Plan is a proposal, once the targeted rate for the food waste service is rolled out, to move the household rubbish collection service from weekly to fortnightly. I am very, very concerned about that. And it's not a debate for this moment, but it will be a debate for a future moment, because it is one of the consequences of that policy and the consequential rate setting. So I want to thank the officers for the changes that they have worked through here. I think that whatever the debate around the policy settings, you've got to pay for the organisation. I don't want to block supply, but I do want to foreshadow that I think there will be some challenging conversations in the future around some of the aspects of these policy settings. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Is there any further comment? If not, I'm going to put the recommendations as we did at the earlier governing body as a whole, but if there are those that wish to register their vote against any item, if they can let us know at the end, and we'll do so accordingly. So we've got A 1 to 22, and then B, which deals with the early payment discount policy. So I'll put that recommendation. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. I declare it carried. Okay, is there anyone that wishes to record their vote against any particular item? If not, I think in record time, that brings us to the end of this extraordinary governing body, and congratulations firstly to councillors. Thank you for your support for the budget. It's good to see that was supported unanimously, And a big thank you, as Councillor Newman suggested, to our officers. This has been a very quick governing body, but it belies the huge amount of work that our officers have put into it. And I think we're well served by the professionalism and the competency of all of our officers. You can take the credit, Andrew and Aaron, as you're sitting at the table, but there are many other people, I'm looking behind me, that have contributed to this process, and I sincerely want to thank you for your efforts and in the conclusion and successful passing of the budget for 2019-2020. With that,
Mr Mayor, just one point. You asked us to record voting against certain items in that recommendation, and so I don't want to hold up the meeting's time, but if I could record my vote against 9.7, which is about the accommodation provided targeted rate, if my name could be recorded against that, please.
thank you, Councillor.
Thank
And with that, I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much.